Welcome back to Mountain Connections. What are the travel trends during the summer of 2020? Well, apparently backyard trips and rural destinations top the list. I spoke with travel expert Chris Lehane and he shared more about this. Let's take a look.
It's no secret that the travel industry has been hit hard by COVID-19, and there will continue to be tremendous uncertainty moving forward. One bright spot is that recent booking data shows that travel is beginning to bounce back. So what are the new trends that will shape travel in the weeks and months to come? Chris Lehane is the VP for Global Public Policy and Communications at Airbnb, and he is joining us to discuss this. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Christine, thank you for having me, and hope everyone is safe, everyone watching is safe, and everything is good in Utah, given everything that's going on. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm looking forward to talking about how COVID-19 has really forever transformed the travel industry, and it feels very concerning.
Yeah, it has. First and foremost, I think what is clear is that people do want to still travel. It's innate, it's inherent to being a human, but the way they're traveling has fundamentally shifted. Ultimately, people really want to have control over their travel experience, given health, safety, security concerns. And we've really seen on our platform that reflected in two really distinct ways. First of all, almost all the travel is now local, if not hyper-local. People are traveling by car within 300 miles of where they live. In some ways, as the older person, maybe an old school vacation. When I was a kid, we'd get into the station wagon, throw the dog in, drive to stay with our grandparents or cousins by a lake or by a beach. That's sort of the type of travel that's taking place. And then secondly, the nature of the accommodations. People really are looking to get whole homes. Airbnb hasn't done anything brilliant, except we have great hosts, but what those hosts offer are whole homes. And so you get multiple bedrooms, your own kitchen. Sometimes if you're looking for a pool, a location close to where you want to be, whether the woods, a beach, a lake, the great national and state parks that exist in Utah, and perhaps most importantly, no common spaces. And so ultimately, people want to travel, but they want to control how they get there, where they stay, who they see. And that's particularly the case given so much of this is now organized and oriented around family travel.
And what new safety measures are in place to ensure the safety of hosts and guests who use Airbnb?
Yeah, well, it begins, first of all, with the fact that you can get a whole home, and that just brings inherent advantages, particularly the ability to control who comes in, who doesn't come in, the privacy that comes with that. But back in March, as we began to realize the magnitude of the pandemic, shortly after the World Health Organization declared a global pandemic, we quickly put in place, I think we were one of the first, if not the first in the sector to do this, an enhanced cleaning protocol for our hosts. And that's really a fancy way of saying, giving our hosts some real specific guidelines of what they needed to do when it came to the cleanliness and health of their homes that they were making available. And some of the key aspects of it, making sure that those hosts had the right equipment to keep themselves safe, making sure they're using the right cleaning products. This is not just cleaning, it is also sanitizing to deal with viral issues. And then third of all, having a time period, a buffer between when the last person is in the home cleaning it and when that guest checks in. We recommend a 24-hour period. That's a fairly long time, a very conservative time that we're putting on that. But that really does help to really prioritize and optimize for the health and safety. We did this all based on the guidance that was given to us by Dr. Vivek Murthy, who's the former Surgeon General of the United States, following CDC guidelines, other healthcare experts. And then finally, you do have hosts and guests who communicate with each other. They rate each other, and that rating system creates a natural incentive and alignment to make sure that that host is delivering for that guest and that guest is behaving responsibly when they travel. If you don't get a good rating from a host or a guest, you're migrated off the platform pretty quickly. So you put all of that together, and I think we've really developed an ecosystem that really does help give people comfort in terms of how they travel. And we see that in our data. 75% of our consumers are saying they're choosing Airbnbs because they do see it as a safe, healthy, responsible option in terms of how they travel.
And where can we get more information about what Airbnb is doing right now to help with safety, also with economic growth in local communities and more?
Yeah, you can go to Airbnb.com, and the economic point is really good. Is a really good one. Utah, we are some of the greatest hosts anywhere. They get incredible ratings. They're great in terms of the quality of hosting that they deliver. But given the nature of Utah, you have everything from incredible houses in and around the ski resorts to incredible places around the state and national parks that exist there. I've traveled there with my family. It's incredible. That there's real economic opportunities for those hosts. In June alone, I think we created almost $1 million in economics for those hosts from people traveling within 300 miles of where those hosts' homes are. And so I think Utah in particular is really well positioned in terms of being able to benefit from this new kind of travel. Look, there's nothing good about this pandemic. I don't want to suggest there is, but the fact is that people are looking to travel differently, and that does align with what our hosts in Utah deliver and what Utah as a state provides.
Well, thank you so much, Chris Lehane, for joining us here on Park City Television and encouraging us to travel and utilize Airbnb.
Thanks so much for having me. I hope everyone stays safe and sound. A big win last night for the Utah Jazz in their first NBA game, so I hope people in Utah are excited.
Yes, we absolutely are. And stay healthy.
Thank you so much. Be well.